Hello everyone, and welcome to this WKO practical session in air about the extreme drought in Europe in 2022. My name is Simon Millet. I'm a scientific engineer at Noveltis in France, and I will be your trainer during this session. You will use a Jupyter notebook to see the extreme drought of 2022 in air, and you will also have a closer look at some WKO's products, their structures, format, variable, and how to plot and explore them. A notebook is composed of different cells, and some of them have code inside, like this cell. And to run the cell, you click here in this button, or use a keyboard shortcut Shift plus Enter. It is not here. And if for any reason the kernel is not working, click here to restart the kernel. After exploring the netcd file, we will make a basic plot. Then we will make a monthly anomaly maps of temperature. Then the annual anomaly maps of precipitation. And finally, we will see the impact of drought in Porto um, and see the incidence of in air quality. So this training focus on the extreme drought of 2022 in Europe, and this drought was one of the most severe ever recorded, that affecting the large part of the continent, with significant environment impact for agriculture and water consequence. So it is a combination of exceptionally high temperature, insufficient rainfall, and prolonged heat wave led to soil drying and a drastic decline in river and lake level. So in this training, we will allow to see the evolution of different parameters: precipitation, air temperature, carbon monoxide over time. First, the Jupyter Notebook must be set up with all necessary libraries. So for this training, we will use the six libraries. So there is ggplot2, that is a library for creating graphic. Dplyr, that is a library for manipulating data. AirColorBrower, it is for the color palette in plot. NetCDF4, it is an interface for you to use NetCDF5 format. Quasar, it is a library to arranging multi-plot on the page. And LibreDirect, it is a library to use date time data. So first of all, we load all the libraries. So here there is a warning message, but it is just to have information of a library. And if you are using another support and the library are not installed, you can use the following command that install all the necessary libraries. Now we will see the data that we will use in this training. So all the data is available in WKO data. Here you have a link. It is possible to see the data here and select the data that you want. But for this training, all the data are already installed, and there is in this folder data here. And Wikio is an European platform providing access to environmental data developing by the European Union and some partnership like ESA, EUMETSAT, Mercator. And for this training, we will use the following data. So it is ERA5 land, monthly average. Um, Here it is the spatial region. So region between the latitude 36 to 52 and the longitude here. The variable is precipitation, air temperature at 2 meters. And you use a monthly mean from January 2000 to December 2024. It is the same here for mass of carbon monoxide. You have here the spatial region, and variable is the mass of fraction of carbon monoxide, and it is monthly mean from January 2002 to December 2002. So you don't have to download it because the files are already downloaded. But if you want to try to download this data, it is possible. Um, and you need to have your own Weko credential, so username and password. And if you have not an account, it is possible to create an account. It's free and available here. First, we will work with temperature. So first, we set the path of the netcd file of temperature. Then we load the netcd file, we nc open, and print the information of the file. So we see that there is a temperature here. It is T2M. Uh, you have the dimension here, that is time, the latitude and longitude. Then we load all the variables, so latitude, longitude, time, and the temperature. And it is possible to visualize the dimension of variable of the value of one longitude and latitude and time. So here it is the dimension, that is longitude, latitude, and time. And here it is the temperature. But you can see here the temperature is in Kelvin and not in degrees. It, it was noted here. Here it is Kelvin. So to convert Kelvin to degrees, uh, we we below this one. So now we see that the temperature is in degrees. It is possible to visualize time. So here you see that it is a number, not a date. So to convert the number to a date, we use this function as POSIX. You put the variable and put the origin that is noted in here. That is second since January 1970. Hop, sorry. Hop. So now we see that it is a date. Then we select this cell to delete the dataset for memory. Now we will plot the temperature. So we will make a basic plot. Donc first we determine the figure size. Then we create a data frame. So we select the index 1, that is the for one time. And we visualize the data frame to see how it is. So you see here that is longitude, latitude, and temperature. There is none here because it was in the land, because it is in the sea, and here it is in the land, so you have a value. Then we plot the temperature. So to plot the temperature, we use ggplot. Then we use a geom raster to make a map. Then it is scale fill gradient 2. It is to select the color scale. Then it is general aesthetic option. Here the title and subtitle. Here the size of the text. Here it is to adjust the color bar, and here to maintain the proportion between longitude and latitude. And finally here it is to save the figure in the folder figure here. So we plot, and here you see the temperature for the January 1990. So we see that the temperature is lower in the east of Europe, in this part, and in the mountain, because here it is the Alps, and here the Pyrenees. Now we will make a plot of monthly anomaly maps of temperature. So what is interesting is the temperature during the summer months of 2022 compared to the seasonal normal. So for this, we will make a monthly average of all the years, so from 1919 to 2024, to be able to display a monthly temperature anomaly map. So first, we make a monthly mean. So we create a data frame here with longitude, latitude, and time, and the temperature. Then here we add the corresponding months. Uh, uh, that we can see here because it is in January it is 1, that is in February it was 2, it will be 2. So here you can see the data frame, longitude, latitude, time, temperature, and month. So now the next sales calculate the monthly average. So you, you use the data frame. You group by longitude, latitude, and month. So for the same longitude, latitude, and month, we do a mean of temperature. And finally, we convert the result in a data frame because with this manipulation, it is a table type and not the data frame. So we use this line. Here you have a warning message, but it is not important. And now we will use we select the index of July 2022. So here we select the nearest index about the date that is here, and the index it is this one. And then we create a new data frame corresponding to this date. So here for time we use the index. So now we have a data frame with value of temperature on July 2022. Um, and we need another data frame with a July average value. So in the and so before we create a monthly means, but it is a means for January, February, March, April, etc. So we select only the month of July. So the month it is 7. So we subset the data frame. Now we combine the two data frame. So the monthly means of July and the value of temperature in 2022. Uh, and we calculate the difference between the temperature on July 2022 and the mean temperature of July. And you can see here the anomaly. So it is the difference between this one and this one. And now we plot the anomaly map for July. So it is the same sales that we see before, the same code. And here we see the anomaly of temperature. The temperature is well above normal in July 2022, um, especially in Portugal, Spain, France, uh, with temperature more than 4 degrees, above 4 degrees. Um, there is only in the northeast of Europe that that July 2022 is normal to the seasonal normal. So it is possible to have some simple statistic to have the mean of the map, the max and the minimum of an anomaly. So the anomaly of temperature in average is 1 degrees point 8. The maximum is above 4 degrees, and the minimum is just below zero point 0.5 degrees. So if you want, you can test another month, like August, to see if the anomaly is similar. Now we will see the annual anomaly maps of precipitation, because in the previous part we see that the temperature was high in July 2022, but the dose is a combination of less precipitation and high temperature. So now we will see the annual anomaly maps of precipitation. So in this part we will use the same method as seen previously, but annually, because winter precipitation has an impact on summer. First, we load the data here, so the precipitation data. Um, we convert the precipitation in millimeters because it is in meters. Then we create a data frame of precipitation, um, and creating a year column here. Then we make an average between 2000 and 2024, the annual average of precipitation. And we do also the mean of 2022 because it is um, monthly means, but here we use annual. So we do a means of the 12 values of 2022. Then we combine the two data frame and we calculate the anomaly. And then we plot the annual anomaly of precipitation. And you see here the map. The map, that is the anomaly precipitation in 2022. It is in percentage. So we see a lack of significant precipitation over part of Europe, except in the eastern Spain here, and lack of precipitation in 2022, in addition to the high temperature that we have seen in July 2022, um, aggravate the drought. So it is the combination of the two factors that create the severe drought in Europe. Now we will see the impact of drought in Porto, especially on carbon monoxide. Um, in 2022, Portugal faced on the worst drought in decade, um, and the prolonged lack of rainfall and extreme temperature creating highly flammable conditions. And the city of Porto, like many places in Europe, like in Spain, France, has been impacted by the smoke from fire. So in this part, we will at an evolution of the concentration of carbon monoxide from March to October in 2022. So first, we load the file of carbon monoxide. Then we select, we want to study this latitude and longitude that correspond to to the city of Porto. So we search the index that is the nearest of this coordinate. So the, the longitude is below 8.5, so it is very near that the study coordinate. Then we find the index of time. So from from March to October. And finally, we create a data frame with the index of longitude and latitude because it is in one point. And then we select the time between these two dates. And finally, we plot the time series. And for creating the time series, we use a ggplot, the data frame. We create a geom line to create a line for the time series. Um, then we put the title, uh, the score color, the, the color of map, and here it is a aesthetic option. So here we see the mass fraction of carbon monoxide in air. So it is at 8,000 hectopascal. That is near the sea level. So you see three peak of carbon monoxide that correspond to some fire that occur near the city. So it is late of July and late of August and September. So it is clear that the concentration of carbon monoxide during this period is significantly higher than the overtime of the year. So that it is a real impact of the population um, of air quality. The training is now finished. You have successfully completed this training. Thank you for your attention. We hope you enjoy this training in air on the drop in Europe in 2022 by Wikio. We can try other dataset or modify the support to show other oceanographic or atmospheric phenomena. And have a nice day. Bye.